I just want to start this video off by saying thank you for everyone that has subscribed to the channel so far, has watched my content, has commented on videos, liked videos. I appreciate everybody. And if you are watching right now and you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button to join the Zach Attack family. I appreciate you. For 2022, we're pushing to get to that goal of 1,000 subscribers. And speaking of 2022, this video I'm going to be counting down my top 10 TV shows of 2022 so far. It's the first quarter of 2022 is almost over. We're here in April. First 4 months just flew by, but a lot of great television has gone. I haven't gotten to see everything I want to see, but I've seen a lot of good stuff. So drop your list down below and let's get ready to count down. All of Us Are Dead Season 1. There's been some rumors that the show might get a Season 2, but I'm not sure because the way it ended, it definitely can just be a one-season show. But this zombie drama for Korea on Netflix is one of my favorite zombie shows I've watched. And that's two zombie shows that Netflix has now. That's some of the best zombie content I've seen. But this show is about kids in Korea in high school dealing with their normal daily lives. Zombie outbreak happens. It reminds me of High School of the Dead if you ever saw that anime. But live action and with less, boobs and jiggles and stuff like that you see in animes like that, and a little bit more serious. Some of the episodes were a little longer than it needed to be, but I really ended up falling in love with the show by the end of it. I'd recommend it if you love zombie content to check this show out, and I hope it gets a Season 2. I'm excited to see where they can go with the story. Ozark Season 4 Part 1. I'm a big fan of this show. The first 3 seasons are amazing. One of the top 100 favorite shows of all time. Maybe I might do that list eventually. But the show is just taken to another level. The intensity, the way it feels like it's always so much tension at any time this family can get taken out. How this is a part 1 of a full season, but it feels like a full season. Even the way the season ended, it felt like it was the full season. We should be getting a Season 5. But for this to be a part 1, it started in the season off fantastically. I really want to see what happens to this family, if they can get out of this, or there's no end in sight. I highly recommend Ozark if you like Breaking Bad, if you like crime dramas, drug dramas, and families get into situations and trying to climb their way out of it, even though they're not fully equipped or they weren't originally fully equipped, and just pushing forward. I love Ozark so much, and so should you. I watched a lot of good animated stuff this year so far, from anime to American cartoons, but the one that has captured my imagination the most that can get on this list is Dota's Dragon Blood Season 2. I really enjoyed this one. Season 1 started off really good and I really liked it and it kept my interest, but Season 2 took it to another level. I love all the characters, I love the story, how complex it is, and it plays with the political side of stuff, but it doesn't forget all the other things that we need to see. Really good action, really solid animation, and it really left me off in a place where I'm like, I need the next season. I need to see what happens to all my favorite characters in the show. It's fantastical, it's mystical, but still grounded in a way, and it has so many different characters and so many different interesting places. The world building is really great, and they find a way to bring them all together. And if you know me, if you've been on watching my videos for a while, I love when there's multiple storyline threads that seem like they don't connect, and they connect them in a really great way at the end, and the show's pulled it off. To me, DC has always been doing really good to great TV content, more than Marvel. From the Arrowverse to the stuff on HBO Max, like Harley Quinn, Titans, Doom Patrol, and now they have another hit, and it was something that was thought was really good, was Peacemaker Season 1. I really enjoyed this show. If you watch my review, you can see me do the dance, so if you really want to taste it. And I really enjoyed John Cena in his role. He took this character that's very obscure, of basically a Captain America ripoff, and turned him into this lovable goofball who's trying to deal with trauma and face an alien invasion. And I'm really happy that it did really well, and we're going to get to see this character further and the rest of the characters in the show, because it's super hilarious. Even though I think some of the jokes take away from the story itself and the villain is not super strong, the characters carried the show and made me fall in love with it. Raised by Wolves Season 2. This show is a slow burn science fiction show about atheists and religious zealots at war with each other, trying to take over a planet with androids who are slowly becoming human themselves because they're starting to learn emotions. There's so much weird mystical and also science fiction stuff in the show all the time, and season 2 took it to another level where it felt like we didn't really see what the end goal was in season 1. We get so many answers in season 2, but then even more questions. It has a very Lost kind of vibe in a way, but it feels like it has the answers planned out. It's just slowly revealing and peeling everything away. Mother and father in the show, two of my favorite characters on TV right now. I absolutely love them. Campion, the whole crew, the visuals are great, the music is great, the action is decent. I really recommend this if you like sci-fi heady shows. It is a bit of a slow burn in both seasons, but in season 2 it ramps up a little bit, but I think it pays off really well. Another show on HBO Max, Raised by Wolves, is on HBO Max, and Station 11, this next pick, is on HBO Max. And I think HBO Max has a lot of great content, and this show grabbed my heart. At first, I wasn't sure. It had things that were intriguing to me, so I kept watching it, but I didn't know I was going to connect with it. By the 4th episode, I fell completely in love with everything that was going on, and then it broke me by the end. Those sobbing tears. I really enjoyed this show. I'm glad that it's not going to be forced and kind of like, because it's a post-apocalyptic show based on something that seemed like the coronavirus but gone wild, and it pushed humans to the brink, and they're trying to preserve the old world with art and music and trying to build those connections, and it follows like a central amount of characters, and it's really heady. It's not really super science-fi, but it's a post-apocalyptic show, and with these shows they can try to drag them on for 8, 7, 10 seasons like The Walking Dead. But I'm glad that they told a contained story that was really well executed with some banging music and a score, great cinematography, fantastic acting. Some of the topics in the show that I didn't care for, but overall I recommend this show a lot if you're a book reader. My next pick was my number one. The first season was my number one show of last year, of 2021. 2022 is coming in this spot right now because the season's not over. The first 9 episodes have aired. They're taking a long break now because of the CW schedule, but Superman and Lois season 2, it takes the spot. I still love this show. It started off strong this season with this doomsday bizarre character and how it affects Clark and all the things that's happening with the sons and Lois's sister being in a cult that might be with Parasite, and now they're doing the Reign and Death of Superman storyline, but in a unique way. They understand, they care about the mythos and the character of Superman in a way that I haven't seen in a long time. And even though I think season 2 hasn't reached the heights of season 1 just yet, that last episode that they dropped out gave me a lot of hope. So I'm really excited to see where the rest of the season goes and if it can climb back up to number 1. And this show was a total shocker. The reimagining of a show that I love. I have on DVD in a box set because I love the show much. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I love that show. Rewatch it all the time when I can. It's on HBO Max now. But this show is on Peacock. It gave me a reason to keep the subscription to that service. Bel-Air. I see there's some hate for this show online. I don't care what they say. I love it so much. I was immediately engrossed by this guy that's playing Will Smith in the show. I think he's doing a fantastic job by recapturing the soul of the character that we know and love from the 90s sitcom and really taking it in a direction that's very interesting. All the heart and soul of the original show is here, but is dramatized. All the things that we didn't get to really see or dwell on because it was more of a comedy in the original is really fleshed out here. Hillary Banks in 2021-2022 would be a socialite, and I like that she's not a dunce, but she still airheadish with certain ways, so that aspect of the character is still there. Uncle Phil being this judgmental person and not having it all together, even though he seems like he does. Like, all the different aspects of each character is there. It's just done in a more modern setting, and I really love the music, the cinematography, the acting, and the way they're taking this story. This was a surprise hit for me. And this show, maybe subscribe to Showtime just to watch it because I kept hearing so much chatter about it. But Yellow Jacket Season 1 is so good. I cannot recommend the show more than just saying that you gotta go watch it. Even if you sign up with Showtime for a little bit and just cancel it just so you can binge this season. The performances are really good. The story is very interesting. The music, the cinematography. It's a story about a bunch of kids in 1990s who go on to a trip to go play in a soccer tournament. They crash land on the coast of Canada, I believe, and they're lost. There were only one adult, but he's injured. But then we flash forward into the future and see the survivors of the incident, and they're being blackmailed because of what happened on the island back then. And we're going back and forth. I did a full season review of this if you want to see my full detailed thoughts about it. But yeah, I can't recommend this show enough. It's so good. And coming in number 1, a show that's pretty controversial, is Euphoria Season 2. I've been waiting for this show for so long. It took so long for Season 2 to come out, to the point where I forgot certain plot points from Season 1 because so much happens in each season. So much happens in this Season 2. This show was a delight. Just like WandaVision a couple years ago, or was that even last year? But where that came on week to week and I had something to talk with my friends and theorize and talk about, this show did that for me, and in such a well done way that I can't speak highly enough about this show. Is it messy? Yes. Is there certain characters that get the short end of the stick? Yes. But overall, I love the artsy, really high snobby way of taking this really messy drama that they did here, and the performances by Zendaya and the actress that played Cassie is absolutely fantastic. I can't recommend Euphoria enough. And that is my number 1 show of the year so far from January to April. Drop your list down below. Tell me what shows that you like in what order. And if you don't feel like putting it in order, that's fine too. If there's any shows that I missed, there's tons of shows that's still going on, like Atlanta Season 2. I'm really digging that right now. I haven't got to Abbott Elementary. I haven't gotten to Winning Time. But is there any other shows that I may be missing on Apple TV? I heard the Severance is good. Drop those lists down below and let me know. Comment them down below. What are your favorite shows of 2022 so far? Like the video if you like my breakdown of all the shows that I like and I'm recommending to you guys. Subscribe to the channel so we can get that growth going, and hit that notification bell if you like reviews, reactions, and lists, because I have tons of that stuff coming and tons of that stuff you can watch, and you can watch more right now.